Can I put music on? I want music on in the background. Hello, welcome. It is Breaking Bad with Ziggy now, my man Michael Ham.
How y'all doing?
He's sports card fishing hobbyist and fishing and sports card hobbyist. How are you doing, sir? How has your week been? It's been 2 weeks since we spoke. What's new? What's going
Uh,
on?
Nothing much new, honestly. I'm kind of just watching what everything else is going on around the hobby right now. Breaking wise, I really haven't gotten into any breaks recently because I'm kind of just holding back for very specific stuff now. I'm getting to the point now I don't want to just waste my money trying to rip everything, always trying to hit something big in everything.
I agree.
And it's becoming way. I get tired of all the product. Like when I go look for I still want to sometimes get into Prism football breaks.
Mhm.
They're still hard. They're hard to find now.
Yep.
It's because people aren't ripping this, and it's like you have this flash month that everything's crazy. It's all you see, and then 3 or 4 other products that come out that, let's face it, aren't as valuable or as promising with longevity, especially. But the other stuff goes away because they got to introduce a new product, and just kind of keep stringing you along. That's the whole point of all these products. I'm just getting too smart for it, so
I do. I
I'm not
understand
trapping
you.
myself into it.
I will say. I'll give you an example. The Chrome basketball has made me change my plans. Okay. Before Chrome basketball was announced, it wasn't on my radar. So I didn't have budget for it. Now that it's coming out, I realize I
Budget
got to pivot.
magically appears.
Yeah. And not only that, but the football products, right? I mean, that whole thing changes my landscape. For example, I was looking at Select. Not that I'm a big Select fan, but I was about chasing some Select. And what I do like too is these retail breaks are coming out first. A
Yep.
friend of mine just did a 20 box Select break. He sold the Spurs for 130 bucks, man.
Oh wow, that's cheap.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So I'm
Yeah,
saying that because
that's like
there are
what, three and a
some
half blasters. So
dude, it's almost unbelievable, and it's sold quickly. And I even said to him, "Tag me on next one." It'd be hard for me not to accept that. If I had been there in time for the drop, I would have probably bought it.
I would have done that.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
just to
I
everybody
would have
out
done
there, this also shows you the discrepancy in breaks, right? Because that's a Facebook breaker. Basically, this guy just loves to churn and burn product. He buys cases. He runs in a little group. There are people like that. I love those
that.
guys.
Yeah. You got to find those guys. Is
Yeah,
the hard part, and those are the hardest guys to find. Honestly,
yeah,
the right ones that you can trust that get product and aren't trying to nickel and dime it. They're not trying to make squeeze every
yeah.
last drop out of the lemon. Um,
Yeah.
they're just
In
hard to
fact, this is
find.
a guy I bought in his I was in his Monopoly breaks and I got the Spurs, Monopoly Spurs. I think it was 20 bucks for 20 bucks case or whatever for
Mhm.
220. Right. And I ended up hitting a purple and several base out of that. The next drop, I missed that one, right? I wasn't fast enough, which is that's the business. He
Yeah,
pulls the green to 24 Wimby out of that one. So and the guy paid 220 for that. So
yeah.
there are some great opportunities in some breaks. In fact, I'll tell you later on if you want to. I'll give you some of my honey holes if
Okay.
you want to know what they are.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not
give
gonna
me
say them on
some. I
this
mean,
live channel.
yeah, don't do that. Um, yeah, just shoot me some stuff because, like I said, I like to dabble here and there,
Yeah,
but I like to pick my points. I never get to the point that I'm always trying to catch back up because
yep,
I didn't hit something.
I,
I'll just be like, it's not my time, and I move
yep,
on. Some days I'm feeling lucky, and I'm like, this might be my day, and I want to get into it because if I watch the break and didn't even attempt to get into it, and something happens, I get upset at myself.
yep, yep.
Because like even
I
if
feel
I'm in a
like you
break
missed
and a
it.
big
Yep,
card is hit and it's at a random and I was at least in that break, I did as much as I could do to get there and I
yep,
was in the right place at the right time. And that's what I like
yep.
to
Well, dude, showing up is half the game, man. Participation. If you participate, you have a chance. It's funny. I agree with you. I also don't get bitter when I miss it and the next guy hits. Like I said, I missed this case. The guy pulls 24. I'm not mad about it. That's just a look. I'm moving on next one. I'll also
yeah.
mention one of the honey holes I use. What I love about him, they go through cases of retail products, and I got in their Prism football breaks.
Mhm.
I will pre-order from him. If I know he's going to be breaking 10 cases, I'll do a deal and buy a team out from him for 5 cases at a discount, right? Which is another thing that I love. There's so many great ways, and I still getting breaks. But my point going back to this, because of the Chrome product being dropped, man, I am definitely shifting my plans. And for example, I need to research this. I saw today they put there's a LeBron Wemby car auto dual auto. They're gonna
Autos.
do a lot of crazy, sexy stuff. I'm wondering.
Hoping they do, but I still want to see what the rest of the product looks like.
Yep,
Because let's say the Wimby looks nice. They did a good job. They needed it. That's the flagship card for that product. What does the rest of it look like and how good and or bad is it going to be? And who else is in it that people are going to care about? Obviously, LeBron, because there's just no autograph cards of LeBron in newer products. And I was having this conversation with somebody at the show this past week. Like, LeBron's not going to sign. And I'm like, yes, he's going to if Ruben's involved and they have
Yep.
a deal. Ruben gets these guys to sign. It may be 100 autographs a year. That's more than we were getting before.
Yep.
So we're
Well,
fine with it.
that's the question I have that I want to know. Okay, you saw Wemby, you see LeBron Wemby. What's the checklist? Are there only those numbered to 99? Will there be base ones?
I hope there's a
Are they
Tom Brady
5.99?
card photoshopped in a basketball uniform.
But I'll just say, man, that
Please,
whole
God.
product
Please.
and
Please.
and the football products coming out. Like, here's another thing. I was going to get into another couple case breaks of Monopoly Prism. I've decided to put that on hold. Honestly, I really
like the way
because
this product's going to come out, where it's going to feel like
yep.
a Chronicles, basically, of just a bunch. I don't know if they're going to hear it like they do with Select Basketball, where you have the same player in each type of card, or if it's going to be select players in only select types of cards. I'm curious at how that's going to lay out. How because if they want to make a whole bunch of it, they're going to do the player in each tier of the type of card or style of card. So there'll be basically, let's say, 6 versions of cards that are 6 sets, and they're just mashed together. Inserts everything, just mashed.
Here's a
massive
question.
product, huge product.
Is this a product that you sit on and hold some? Because here's my thought on this.
No.
It's their first shot getting back into this. They could put in some loaded stuff in this, man.
First of all, you're going to figure out which draft class is going into this. Later this
looks
year,
like you're going to have
CJ Stroud and work.
You're going to have Wemby. You're going to have Wemby and
Stroud. They have Stroud's auto, so I just didn't know if they were going to try to rope in the guys that were just drafted. Like, do you get a Caleb Williams in that too?
Why would you not? Yeah, but I wouldn't put him in there. I would wait till next year and pull it out in 6 months from now or 12 months from now. We'd eat it up then too.
I just don't know what they're trying to do to impact the hobby.
But you're right.
Plus, they have that event, and that football will drop probably around that Fanatics event in New York. So, what are they going to do? And they've already said they're going to also be putting in celebrities in product. So, we got to figure out where's that going to. I would love basketball to have sideline cards, and you have these famous, actors and singers and stuff signing cards of them sitting at a game cheering. Like, that would be a very big collectible. And Ruben has the power and the insight with these people to get that done.
I'm curious how they're going to distribute Topps Chrome. Will it be, like, for example, it's not Montgomery members. We're not on that list. Is it to the guys who showed up at Industry Day? Will it be online? Will it be only through? That's going to be in itself going to be a wonderful question, man.
It's going to be everywhere. I mean, they said there's going to be a retail version from what I was hearing from multiple people. So,
really,
it's going to be. Listen, everybody's going to buy it. We're trying to figure out what the configuration is. Are you going to be guaranteed an auto per box? Is it going to be very similar to what that we just got the Bowman drop on, where you get one auto per box, and that was what, $260 a box? They're going to come out of the gate with this at $250 or higher because it's new, fresh, exciting, and everybody's going to want to rip it. It's literally, they could price it $500 a box with one auto.
I understand. Well, I'm looking at it like this. I'll tell you too. I'm going to approach this product through breaks. I think that's the best way to get into it. I really do.
From Bob Boozle.
I mean, versus buying it. I think it's gonna be expensive at $500 a box or whatever.
I don't think it'll be that much, but I can easily see it. If they're gonna hit a sweet spot, to me, if they drop boxes with a guaranteed auto at $200 a box, I think that's that good, even fair price. But it's an unknown product at this point. We know kind of what we're chasing right now, but is that enough to carry it over? And at that point, do they have Caitlin Clark cards in that product? I don't know when that license agreement changes over as well. So, and they have stickers. They can do whatever they want.
I don't think they would. That's a great question, man. I don't know.
They got to do something with those.
God, we need to see the checklist. We need to see the checklist. That's really going to answer a lot of questions, and that's not going to come right away.
You got to think about it too. They've done a great job of hiding this information. There's a lot of people in the hobby right now, a lot more than ever before. A lot of people that have worked on this product.
Let me say something on that. I think I mentioned I bought into a a package with Mojo breaks. I think it was $100, and you got first access to their products when they drop them at a discount. Their basketball, you get listed on when the drop was coming, so you got first access to basketball only. You got a discount, and they listed to you. You'd also participate in single box breaks, and I want to say I'm going to say 15 breaks that were listed. Many of the spots, and I bought in this thing, dude, months ago. Many of the spots were Fanatics Future Basketball product, and they were selling that months ago. Like somebody told them, and I even mentioned to them, like, "How are you guys selling Fanatics basketball spots?" And like, we just have something coming, and I'm super excited that I'm even in part of that. That was one of the best deals I got into. I think it was $100, and that's already paid itself on the discounts I've got
I
buying
used to
into
do that
breaks.
with Bowman well before the checklist would come out.
Yep,
I had a guy that he'd break anywhere from he'd break 100 cases, but he would do them by like 5 case breaks, and he would do them at random, but he would release it 5 months before the product came out at a super low price because he'd given it to you at the cheapest. He's already got it reserved. He's already
yep,
got
yep,
the
yep,
deal
yep,
with
yep. It's
Tops.
allocated. Yep.
Yeah, he's allocated. It's guaranteed. And I used to get into those, and that's how I ended up getting a lot of the early Bowman stuff. You didn't know who was in it, but like I said, Bowman's just one of those things you just get into a bit of product. Hey,
Yeah,
Orlando, how you doing?
it's I'm excited. Like I said, the whole thing coming has definitely changed my mind. I'm also like as far as baseball goes, there's nothing that interests me in baseball right now until Chrome comes out.
Correct.
Right? I don't care about
Correct.
Series 2. I don't care about any other products that come out.
I mean, at
All the
this point,
section
you're
boom
only going to
products.
want Chrome, and then there's some inserts that I think because with Fanatics now driving Tops a little bit, I've noticed we're in an insert craze again, like we were in the
Yep.
late
Yep.
'90s,
The
early 2000s.
mangas and all that stuff.
Everything.
Yep.
They're still doing the same exact thing with them. So I'm still waiting for a little bit of innovation to come back. They keep saying they can't do things. I just don't understand how you could do something in the '90s. You can't do it now. Like we got dumber. I don't know how we got dumber. Or technology is not better now than it was then. I just don't get that. But the Topps Pristine just showed a card that looks like a '90s flashback, but it's also a die cut. It's an insert. I forgot what it was called. It was actually got a cool name too. I was like, that's fun. That's a fun card. So if they have like, I'm a Rays fan, obviously. If they have a Junior Caminero in that rookie, I'd like to get that because they're autograph cards. So that would be a cool card. They are doing a good job with some of these things, but it's just so much product out there. It's starting to get lost again with
Yep.
especially baseball. What's the true rookie outside of the first? You just go to the flagship now. Is it flagship Chrome? I don't even know where to go. Is it Dynasty? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
I agree. I totally agree. It's funny to me too, because Tops, in my opinion, they do a great job in baseball, but they also fail in baseball. Like there's so much room for them to improve there.
I think they should just do a Chronicles pack just like that in baseball. Just start combining some of this crap. Upper Deck needs to do that to catch up on their product. For that company too, they're so far behind in product, it's ridiculous.
In fact, let me even give you this example. Because of Chrome coming out, I'm less likely to do Bowman right now. Now you said, and I agree. I normally in the
I'm going to
past I've
dabble
done
in Bowman
Bowman,
no matter what. I can't not rip Bowman.
but but I will maybe I used to do breaks too, like you said. But here's the deal: you used to do breaks because it was cheap. You could get Bowman breaks really cheap,
Yep.
and then you could let that kind of take time to mature. Nowadays, it's so damn expensive. It's the time cost of money. I don't want to tie funds up right now in Bowman. But again, I need to get ready for. In
I've
fact,
already
what I'm
bought
also
some
doing,
blasters. Yeah, so
I've got a bunch
I'm
of
just
cards
basically
coming
sticking to
back.
blasters.
I've got a
I'm
bunch of
sticking with
PSA
blasters at the
commissions
moment.
coming back that I'm trying to sell right now just to generate, get that cash flow coming in. Let me ask you this: are
Selling the
you going to
repack.
go to Fanatics Fest? Is that on your radar? Is that something you'd
I
consider?
want to, but it is tight behind the National.
Yeah.
It is extra cost. I can get the time off unless there's something dramatic going on in Florida, because it's hurricane season down here from June 1st
Yep.
till the end of November, and my work is on the water, so I have to always be. If something's going on at that point, I would have to be able to say I can't go, in case we have to evacuate a building or
Yep.
something. So I want to go. I don't think it'll be that hard to go. It'll be a little pricey, but I think it will be fun. And it is one of those things that I think this first one's going to be the best one. Like I don't think it gets better after this. I really don't. They're pulling out all the stops for this one.
I am excited. I want to pull the trigger on the VIP package.
I wish I knew if the VIP package was transferable. If I buy it
That's
and I
part of it.
can't sell it, then I'm screwed.
Well, I agree because I
Unless they
can't
can
go
send
for
me all
3
the
days.
VIP stuff. If I could buy the VIP pass, and if I didn't go, I still get a VIP bag with all the goodies, I would do that. I'd buy that in
Well, see, I
5 minutes.
can't. Like I said, I can't go for 3 days. I know I can probably go for one. I know
Yeah.
I can do one. I know one's not like I could take the train up in one day and back in the same day. I will likely go for two, do 2 full days. I'm trying to bring one of my kids with me if he's interested. Also, as I mentioned, you see they're doing Orlando as well, right? In November. You
I
gonna
wish
do
I could.
that?
Oh, yeah, if it's over here, yeah, it's easy. It's just drive down the road.
I said I'm excited about that in itself. That Fanatics is getting this game, man. I mean, I'm a critic, but I like what they're doing. Like I like
I'm
this
just
Topps
more.
Chrome ship.
I'm really
I like the
surprised more
football.
stuff isn't in Orlando card related, from a large standpoint, because it's kind of that
Yep.
central mecca to
Yep.
obviously a hub because of Disney as well, and everything can draw from the state in. Florida is really interesting because as a state per capita, I don't know of other places that have as many card shows as Florida
I
per
agree.
week. Okay, like
Well, you
we have a massive bulk of cards in this state that is, I would say, is bigger than any other state, even California and some of these other big states. Because let's face those rich people got 3 cards if they even have any. But down here, it's like everybody moves here. Everybody brings their stuff here. The snowbirds keep their stuff down here. You know what I mean? It's just like it's all here already. And I'm amazed sometimes that we don't have bigger shows than what we do in Florida. Really,
well,
I really
you
don't know why we don't.
I agree with you on the cards. First of all, I've learned I picked up cards when I lived in Florida as a kid. That's where I got into sports cards again. I remember going to shows. I remember meeting a guy there who said people retire there because the low income taxes, whatever
Yep.
it is, it's easy to run your own business.
Yep. No
It would
state
be
tax.
curious to do a survey of where the most cards are. And I think you're right. Because I also think if you're thinking East Coast, where they might have started,
Hmm.
they probably came to the South for better weather and
Yep.
migrated.
Now I'll retire here.
Huh. The only other problem with that, though, is you have so many card sharks down there who know them that you're not going to find them like in
That's the
somebody's
thing.
attic.
When I go to no, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. There's cards everywhere that people have never touched. Everywhere. Like the amount of cards that are in people's just house and they don't talk about it. They don't even look at YouTube. They don't even know what's going on. There's still those people out there. I see them when I go to yard sales. They're like, oh, I got this stuff. It was my husband's. He died. I don't know nothing about it. Blah blah blah. I haven't dug it out yet. It's just that happens actually all the time in Florida.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the
So
reasons I don't like vintage. I mean, I'm not a vintage. I appreciate vintage, but here's my reality. I would rather have a newspaper of an historical event to remind me of something nostalgic than a sports card. That's just me. The sports card, my fear is, and I've seen this, is there's too many sets that come out. There's always some old lady finding one, and there's also fakes being made. Like the fake
but
Wemby's that came across the border, dude. Here's what people don't realize: there's fake Lucas, there's fake Anthony Edwards. Every rookie that's been made, they brought fakes in this country
first
from
of
somewhere
all,
else.
China prints most of these Panini cards. Okay. And if you're telling me that some dude over
Reprints,
there
yeah,
is printing them can't reprint another one, like,
yeah,
come on, they know what they're doing over there. Don't look, give me no joke there, guys. They can print them better. Whoever prints the Disney cards that look like Prism, if they were printing them, they would look better than the Prism we have. Like that'd be like, this is too nice. It can't be real. You know what I mean? We would have a problem with condition. But when you're talking about the old cards, what I keep thinking is these people that are getting these attic fines and they're all going and getting graded and getting high grades. If you want these people that are really upset with trimmed cards and altered cards and stuff like that, that's the realest version of that card you're probably ever going to find. Like,
that's
because
true.
think about it, a lot of things in slabs are already altered from way back, and nobody's going to
Yep,
crack
you're
it
right.
out because
You're right.
it's not going to pass authentication again. So it's
Yep.
to the point. These are the realest, nicest versions of those cards. So if you are interested in those, you have the money, and you really want one, that's what you target. You follow these auctions. You try and win one of those because that's as real as it's going to get.
No, you're absolutely right on that because I even joke about when people complain about the washing cards. You don't know that a card that's in a slab today wasn't washed 20 years ago in the 80s or 90s. That someone didn't do something
Oh,
to
it
it then.
was.
We have
It
no
was.
idea.
It was. Don't worry about it.
So it's not like, I mean, I'm not going to get in that bandwagon. I do want to point out Philly Joe's comment. There is, again, I don't know if you know this. So Fanatics Fest is August. I think it's like the 16th, 17th, 18th. Then I think in September, you've got this Pirates Day. And this is explained as a regional event where the Fanatics one, this is straight from Neo talking about this. You have the national one, which is Fanatics Fest. Regional is Pittsburgh. And I think Orlando is like something, a similar classification. Maybe I've got that wrong. But I would like to participate in all three. I'll be honest with you. I almost 100% on New York. Pittsburgh is close enough to tie that in, and the week is not bad. We'll see. And then November would be fun to bring the family down to Orlando.
Yeah, it's a
Do
perfect
a double
time
trip,
to do
hit
anything
a
in
sports
Florida in
card and Disney
November,
at the same
December.
time.
Yeah, I mean that's why I
Yeah.
keep saying why can't the National come down here? Blah, 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 travel to Florida. It's like it's Florida. Everyone wants to travel to Florida. Trust me, they all want to travel to Florida. It's not a big deal, people.
Let me ask you another quick question. I remember listening to people talk about draft night, and everybody talking about how the people who are really excited are the breakers, right? I'll be
Anybody that was
perfectly
holding
honest. When I
Bowman
watched
U draft is what is excited.
well, they were saying how everybody's gonna be excited. The breakers looking at next year, they're gonna make so much money off these products. To be honest with you, I looked at this like you have 6 quarterbacks in the first round. I think 8 total that could be in the product. That means there's gonna be a very balanced assortment of teams for PYT and even better chances in a random break. You know what I'm saying? Like
If
I don't
it's
look
done,
at it as
if
that being
it's
a
done
negative.
fairly,
And the price,
done fairly, yes. With that many quarterbacks that early,
and again, the price is really dictated by Fanatics. It's Fanatics who dictates the price. I mean,
yeah,
the
but then we
breakers
always add
are feeding in the
20%.
demand. And I agree
Whatever
with you
they
on that. Like I am one who
we
does
always
believe
add that.
you should have transparency in breaking costs, right? You should say I'm getting the product, or the you don't have to say what you paid for it, but you say what the market value of the product is $3,000 a case. Total break cost is $4,000. Be transparent about that. Kind of like calories. You're eating a Big Mac. It's got 4,000 calories in it.
I think the problem with that, Ziggy, is each person has a different idea of possibly what's a better card to get out of there. Especially after Caleb Williams, with the quarterbacks, who's the one that's going to be more valuable? Just because it's the second one picked doesn't mean
as far as team pricing, when you price the team,
when you start pricing teams, because when I look at a lot of these,
I will tell you, in my opinion,
the team pricing can be all over the place. Like the consistency is horrible. There's no like general place to go, like we have with anything in this hobby, and say this is what this is what that is what this is. There's nothing that says that. It's up to each breaker to make that determination and value. Now, some of these guys also have people who are willing to pay more for spots because they want their team from their breaker. Okay, because they have that. This is my lucky guy, and they'll pay more. And that's why some of these people do this thing where they can get more for certain teams and they know it. So they're going to raise the price. They know I have a couple guys here that are big Pittsburgh fans. And it's not the biggest draft pick, but they're going to fight over it. So I can raise it up because one of them is going to pay it. And they do that. I mean, it's all about making money at the end of the day. You just don't want to feel like somebody's overly greedy.
Well, it's funny. So I don't disagree with you. I understand exactly what you're saying. And I guess my fear is that I also realize that this dude, this breaking is just as addictive as a drug. It is gambling. And the people who are feeding people like that, imagine, I don't know, it feels dirty to me. Like, I understand you're right. I got a guy who's willing to pay $1,000 for the Spurs. I'm going to get $1,000 out of him.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I just feel like there should be some type of, like, what other industry allows you to do that? In alcohol, they wouldn't let you do that. They don't let you charge more for wild turkey.
Yeah, they do.
Because it's 151.
Yeah, they do.
But there's a cap, isn't there? You can't. Can they cap it? I mean,
they can, but at the end of it,
maybe that's by state. Maybe that's state driven.
It's state driven because each state's driven. Alcohol is a whole different separate thing because each one's controlled by regions, and those regional companies that produce product will not push other product deliberately. Like for instance, down here, the whole Blanton Buffalo Trace is very hard to get. Okay, very hard. I go to Georgia, it's 7 deep on the shelf. Down here, you have to become buddies with the guy at the liquor store. He's going to let you know when it comes in. He only gets 5 bottles because they don't get allocated because of the group that controls it down here. And then you also pay 3 to 5 times more down here than it is up there. You're talking a $30 bottle of something that'll cost $100 here if you want it, and they'll all buy it because they can't get it. So yeah, they do that here, and that's with alcohol, and that's licensed and regulated. So yeah,
you're right.
It's all about it's about money. It's about money. All this is about money.
I guess
if it wasn't about money, it
wouldn't
be a problem. Correct. So I don't even care what they do. If regulated, not regulated.
Maybe I should just quit bitching and I should just become a breaker.
Try it. You'd probably enjoy it.
I have done it.
I have get your fill for opening. But I'm just saying, you get your fill for opening product.
Let me explain something.
I just went on
Let me
sport
rewind
auction.
this. I'll tell you my history. I'm telling you my history as a breaker. I got into breaking cards because in the beginning, we would chase Bowman. I think it was 2017, the Otani Japanese card.
Yep.
We were chasing that, and we were doing these friendly breaks. I had a friend on the West Coast, Rackin, and myself. We do these box breaks for each other. That's how we started it. Then I do breaks for other people in the Facebook group. And here's the thing: we would charge a few extra bucks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We even had a tipping policy. If you hit a big card, you tip or whatever. It was very community driven. But two things: number one, I hated it. I hated the sorting.
Yep.
I hated the labeling and the shipping. Yep. Right? It was very time tedious, and it wasn't even the hits. It just wasn't worth it to me. I don't know. I preferred buying into breaks. I realized all the dirty work that's going to it.
That
and
time,
those were
if
in
you
a friendly
tried it
environment.
again, but if you tried it again and you did it like every other breaker, you'd realize that it's lucrative now.
Okay, but let me tell you,
a lot more involved. But you have to be set up to do it. You have to have all your
okay. So hold on. So
order,
what I did
how
do.
to ship.
But here's the other piece that no one talks about. So after that, I went to a friend of mine who was breaking, and I worked with him on it. And here's what he taught me was chargebacks, angry customers, no payments,
Yep.
You know, all sorts of garbage. Like, you know, it seems like almost every day he had a headache from somebody.
Oh no,
Okay,
it's
every
like selling
day
a bunch of stuff on eBay. You have 100 listings on eBay every day. Do you know you're going to have 10% of those people are going to be bitching about something?
So
mail's going to get lost.
This is probably 2017, 18. This is before breaking came in. Another thing was, again, a lot of it was allocation driven. Like you were either a kitchen breaker, breaking retail, or you had some allocation you had to build up over time through a distributor like Peachtree or whatever. So anyway, I don't know. I just don't. To me, I don't think I would enjoy it. I would like to run a breaking company, right? Be involved in it, but I don't want to do it.
That's even worse, Ziggy. That's even
Does that make sense?
Because now you're
and here's what I mean
other
by
people
that. Here's
doing
what I'd like to do.
stuff.
I'll give you.
It sucks managing people, Ziggy.
Here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I'd like to do. I would like to put together a co-op. Okay, a co-op breaking company where I'd have memberships, kind of like a wine subscription of the month. And I tell you, here's the menu of the products we're going to break that month. You buy into it, and you'd get a share of the distribution at the end of the month. What?
I've done that with Whatnot before. I've seen people do that on Whatnot. It just doesn't work
really where?
Well. I know KK Cards has tried it before, especially with bigger products.
I wouldn't do it on Whatnot though. I do it in a private. I would do it in a Facebook group, and I would target like cases. It'd be case products only. Because I don't want
what it is
boxes
the distributors.
I want cases.
But distributors that are doing this, and a lot of these people are backed now by these other companies like Fanatics. You know, there's partnerships being merged out of all this, and you do have to play nice, you do have to play fair, and you do have to stay within a certain parameter. That's just facts. I mean, but if you want to be massaged,
I'll play fair.
I don't know about you, Ziggy. If you don't like something,
I want to. Well, okay, here's what I would not like. I want it to be fair. I want it to be fun. I want to be in a case break with a bunch of guys that if we hit a big card, we're all
remember, this is about
it.
making money. And making money, there's no fair. I remember that. At the end of the day, there's no fair. This is rigged.
I'm thinking again. Let me redefine. I want to run a breaking company like a mutual fund. You have a couple investors. You're buying cases. You're ripping the cases. It's not like you don't win the Spurs. The mutual fund wins the Spurs.
And you split off allocation. So if you hit a big enough card, you make more money as a group.
Well, yeah, and you'd have the option to buy direct. If somebody wanted to buy a hit, I really like that LeBron James. I'm going to pay for it.
Sell it to that person, and it goes to the group. Correct. That was going on. So that was This is going back way back when Infinity Cards was really first breaking in I think 2010 or so or 11, right around. Who was it that was doing? It was a big breaker at the time.
Now let me just quickly, while you're thinking about this, I'm going to explain something. I wouldn't just buy the breaks. I would also buy into other breaks. So, for example, if I had that mutual fund, I'd use that mutual fund to buy into.
No, but I've already seen
this case across.
This was happening before the pandemic, the boom. That was happening before that.
It still happened.
Really derailed that. What derailed that was the whole buying fractional shit. That's what screwed that up, because originally fractional was going to be built on how much you put in for a large, big product rip and how you get paid out based on how much everything sells for. That's how they were running that. So you could have 100 people in a 20 case break of something, but your dividend you put in is a lower percent, so you get paid out less based on how well it does. And it's gambling. You're still gambling. And if you want to buy the card, most of these back then were everything was auctioned on eBay. We didn't have pristine auctions and all this other shit going on that like what we have now with Golden and stuff. That didn't exist. It was just eBay. That was your drive, and there was no Facebook Marketplace because back then you had MySpace still.
Yeah.
So it's just like
So I
that's
think
just
I
what
think
it
it's
was.
worth looking at again.
You just
I
got
think
as
it's worth
long as you
looking at
do
again.
it right and you get the right people involved, it'll be fine. There's a guy down here in West Palm Beach that breaks vintage packs and whatnot out of PSA slabs and Beckett slabs and stuff like that. Cracks them while right there on camera, and he sells per card slots for ridiculous amounts of money to the point that I almost feel like it's fake. But he's been doing this for years, and it's just like, who's buying into this? But they also, if they hit a big card, they'll grade it for you themselves and send it in to have a deal with PSA. And it's just like, I'm watching like somebody break a pack of cards with 15 cards and each slot's $100. And out of everybody in the break, there's 3 people. It's the same guys. I'm like, who the hell's doing this? Just go buy your own pack, crack it out yourself, and open it for what you're spending. I don't get it, but people are doing it.
So you just reminded me of something. You reminded me of a topic I want to talk about real quickly, touch on. I was listening to SCV today, or maybe it was yesterday. He's talking about repacks.
Yep.
Did you hear that video?
I haven't watched that one, but I know a lot about
repackers. Yep. Well, it's interesting. He pointed out, he goes, I'm always shocked why these repackers pay so much, why they overpay so much. He goes, I'll see a repacker spend $800 on a card, and I'll see that same card he's paying above comps. He goes, this repacker will pay $100 above comps. He'll win the bid. I watch him win the bids. He takes these cards down. And then a few months, he says, within a few weeks later, I see the same card being sold on eBay for about $400 or $500. Yep. And he goes, sells for a fraction. He goes, I just don't understand it. And you know what's going on there.
I'm gonna send you a link, Ziggy, to a guy that laid
tell
this
everybody
out
what's going on there. Tell her.
So what it is Card Collector Dude. This guy did a video. I'll send it to you. The guy only has like 2,000 members that watches YouTube channel, and I know Neo had watched it too because it's funny because he had mentioned Neo in it, and he was basically showing that Card Collector 2 spent roughly $36,000 on all the cards for a repack, and by the end of the night he made $56,000 on top of that. So he made, what is that, almost $20,000 in one night. Why wouldn't you be doing that? And you're doing it as people are bidding over because cards aren't either getting pulled right away or big hits aren't hitting. And then when like a big card's left at the end and you can guarantee it's one of these 3 cards, it goes way up.
I know.
It's the slot machine, and anyway, the power bar going up, and you know the jackpot's getting bigger.
But
so I gotta go harder.
Let me explain my example to you. Let me explain my example of what's going on, see, so everybody understands this. What happened is when the repacker buys on eBay or buys a comp or whatever at $1,000, he's happy about that because he's going to go back and tell everybody, these cards are all comped at $1,000. I just paid $1,000 for this card. This Kaboom card is $1,000 card. Look, I just bought it.
Yep.
But that's not really a legit comp because it's his comp. You see what I'm saying? That's comp. He was willing to pay that. I understand that. And this is what people don't understand. This is where the ignorant, this is where the ignorant person comes in because then they buy in the break, they hit that card and they go, well, I got $1,000 card. No, you didn't. Because when you sell it, it only sells for $400 or $500.
So one of the
all of the cards in these repacks are declining assets. They're all declining in value.
They're not all
declining. There are very few that hold value.
Well, that's every card. That's every card in the whole thing we're doing right now. Like that's all of it. So
exactly. That's why it's a Ponzi scheme. That's why the whole repacking.
I know, but there's cards that'll go up too because like recently at the last Tampa show, I saw somebody buying for a repacker. He's buying Anthony Richardson rookie autos, like cards that are $400, $500, $800, $900, $1,200 a card. All the Kabooms, all the Color Blast, like those just go. Like people see those, and the dollars don't even matter because they freak out.
I know.
It's just selling.
But again, I'm just saying, and I'll say this too. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I know the cards that I sell will end up in repacks. I'm not a fool. Like for example, if I were to sell that PSA 6, that bitch is showing up in a repack because there'll be a highlight.
Well, that, and if you look at all the repacks, I haven't seen a repack that somebody's selling raw cards. Everything's graded, and it's from an 8 to a 10. It doesn't have to be a 10. That's the funny part. It doesn't have to be a 10. They need some of those cards that are good cards in what we consider a bad grade. because it still looks good. It still has to flash.
Well, this is what right here. I don't see how every repacker who makes a repack knows that they are scheming. It's no
They're
different
not.
than
They're
that.
they're
That you know
allowing
that,
everybody to play a game. Don't look at it that way.
but
They're
they're
allowing
not.
people to
But dude,
play.
it's
Yeah,
not a
they are.
game.
Yes, it is. It's a game of chance. Yes, it is. Here's the only thing that's good about a repack. At the end of the day, even if you pay in and you don't hit a big card,
Okay.
you still have something to show for it. Because if I put $1,000 on a roulette wheel and I lose, what do I get? Nothing. Where if I would have bought that
Okay.
$1,000
Let me
pack,
just say
maybe I hit
this.
a $500 card.
Let me just
I'm not losing my ass.
let me just say
I
this.
get to play again with that.
In all that stuff you're mentioning, there's a game of chances. This is a game that's rigged, right? And I would say rigged.
No, because it's still
Where
based
you're
on
looking at a
somebody
guy,
bidding on something
you're
to
looking
pay.
at a guy run. Listen. You're looking at a guy run a repack product. When he should have a sign behind him that says "My Profit," so that every time you bid up, right, you realize that his profit you're chasing a $10,000 card. This dude's making $56,000 off the entire night. You should know that.
You
Like
do
how
understand that they have so you've seen, I don't know if
the
you've seen the
mob should
guys
get in this
somewhere
shit,
that,
dude.
but where's the guy there's a guy that's paying somebody like $100,000 a month or something to try and buy $1 million in cards and
Yes,
repack.
let
Okay.
me tell you. Let me tell you
So
another
hold
thing
on, but
about that real
there's
quickly.
a fee
I
involved that all these people that are doing all this repack buying
oh,
for all these other people, they're getting money too. So there's more money being invested into this on the backside, not just the card itself. So there is another margin involved in this because you're paying that guy that's doing that legwork to go get stuff too.
so I was just say. By the way, I'm actually in the group that was posted in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say the group's name. I've been in that group since 2017. It's a very strong high roller vouch group. He does not say in there that he's a repacker. It's inferred. I'm not. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's some shady invest. Everybody took that clip and ran with it as look what repackers are doing.
Of course,
He's
of
willing
course.
to pay people.
Well, I
You know what I'm saying?
basically, what are you
I
saying?
know a little bit more of that
Do.
story than what's being shared.
But it's still
It
at
is.
the end of the
It's
day,
shitty for someone to repost that.
it doesn't really matter. Everybody's trying to make money. And if there's a way to make money, and again, not regulated, no rules,
Because
as
let me
long as
explain
you're
to you.
not
Let me explain to
stealing
you
from
something.
somebody, that's somebody else's choice to buy something. That's their
Well,
problem.
I think repacks and these auctions are a way to steal. It's a 3-card money. But going back to my point, that guy, his post could easily have been, "I'm going to give you cash to go out and buy raw,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to teach you to grade to raw, and I'm going to teach you not only that, but I'm going to have you buy first cards that come out raw, chases, pay a premium because I'm going to be the first to market to 10 them." There could be a lot going on in that. You know what I'm saying? And that was never discussed. Just think about
I
that.
knew
If
a
you look
guy
at
that
that original
would
post that the
buy.
guy put up there,
I knew a guy that was buying new product as it came out, by cases, ripping it all himself,
yep,
raw to grade, and was making
yep,
40% of what he was putting in. And he was just doing that by himself
yep, for a profit
for a
or
profit.
40% net or
Yeah, no,
yeah, 40%
profit for a
profit. So making his
profit
money back plus 40. Yeah, yeah.
plus
Yep.
40%. That's crazy.
I
For just
agree. I've
opening
known
your
that for
own
years. In
product.
fact, I knew a guy,
If you have the volume,
a
you
friend
can
of
do
mine,
it.
a friend of mine knew a guy who would buy cases of Bowman, probably 3 or 4 cases of Bowman baseball. He'd rip it, and the only thing this guy kept were the autos. And this is back in 17, 18, 19. He would give all the freaking refractor, unless it was a 101. He gave it all to his buddy and myself for my kids. He didn't care. So I absolutely agree. And he was making money. So my point is, you can make money in cards. It doesn't have to be through repacking. There's other ways. There's something else I want to talk about. Although, let me share with you. I don't know where we are on time. Oh, we have plenty of time.
Good.
I got my PSA, my first PSA submissions coming back. Now, I'll tell you real quickly, I'm bummed because I did not know it shows you the grades when it's in the quality assurance level or something like that. Did you know
every
that?
time I've graded PSA, which has only been like, I think 7 cards, I go through Tampa Card Shop here.
Okay.
I always tell him
Okay.
not to tell me what the grade is on purpose. Bring it to me, and I'm going to open it on camera and be surprised. I'm not going to peek because I don't have my own account. And like the last time, I basically gymmed everything but one card, which I knew I wasn't going to gym, and he was just like dying because he just wanted to say, "Hey, you basically gymmed every card. Everything you chose was right." Because I keep telling them that I look at a card and I'm like, "This is a 7." He's like, "Oh, I think it's a 9." I'm like, "That's a 7." I grade harder than what a normal person would. So if I get a card back and it doesn't grade the way I think it's going to grade, then there's a problem somewhere else. because I am picky and mean on myself. So I turn cards away I probably
See,
should grade, and I don't because I'm like, no, they're not going to give that a 9, so I'm not going to send it.
yeah, we're the opposite. I believe every card should be at least a 9 if it's modern. I recognize that's not always the case. People will
Yep.
jump down my throat, but I just believe. Look, I'll accept a 9. In fact, a few things. I thought you used to be able to set minimum 9 grade when you submitted cards. At least I thought you could. I don't know. Maybe I have to go back and check that. I did my first submissions in March. I did a 22 card submission. It was all the same damn card, Victor Wembanyama base Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
That's still in grading phase. The card order I sent behind that was a 47 mixed card order, and that just popped to this morning, and it went from like grading to assembly or whatever, and my payment goes through, and I'm like, I didn't know that, so I go in and look at it, and I was expecting to get some notice and some little beautiful picture I could flip the card that everybody shows me. I didn't see that at all. I just looked over, and it shows me the grades on my cards, and they were okay. Of 47 cards, 35 of them were 9s and 10s. There was like 17 or 12 or whatever that were, I think, 7s, 8s, and I think at 1 6. And I tell you, what was really hard were the paper, those damn hockey cards. I think I got 2 10s out of all the hockey cards I submitted.
Those are tough.
1 6.
Yep.
Yeah, those are brutal.
That's like, again, that's why I don't want to send my
learned,
Bedards in. Like, I don't even know if any of my Bedards would be a 9, to be honest with you.
And then I also got, I will say, I submitted to the guy I used to sub with. I sent him probably 50 base cards of Prism back in January, February, whenever those breaks were, right? He sent me back a bunch that he pre-screened and said, no, don't sub these, right? Well, I was like, fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and sub them again. Well, I probably should listen to them because most of those were 8s and 9s.
Yeah, I'm to the point that I'm trying to be more
I'm
perfectionist, or at least know what I'm going to do. This stuff I'm getting ready to grade coming up, I'm going to actually do a video of what I assume it's going to grade, and send it in, just see how I do from that standpoint.
Yeah. I'm not there yet. I'm more towards still bulk grade. I want, like, if I get 10 Strouds, I'm grading all the Strouds. I grade every Wemby I get.
It costs too much to grade.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, $17.
What's $17 times 47, Ziggy?
$879 with shipping.
That's a lot of money, Ziggy.
But I know that's in there. With 47 cards, I got that back. I got that.
I know, but you got to remember, not everybody's always grading just to completely always move it as well, and it's really hard to move a card that's modern that's an 8. Like, it is.
Let me also say this too. This is the first year that I've stepped into. I'm really now machining this. Like, before, I used to do 5 or 6 cards a month. I'm bulking this thing up. I became my own subber. I'm going to churn these cards. Back to you on the 7s and 8s. I'll be honest with you. One or two things I'll do with those. I'll either give those away to people I know who give them to kids, or I will crack them and sell them through ComC, where ComC can put all the notes on them, what they think they look like. That way I don't feel like I'm disclosing or hiding anything. I'm not selling them raw on eBay. I'm just going to crack them. I would either, like,
I'm not trying to go too deep into this, but we always talk about disclosure.
Yep, no, go.
Did you disclose when you crack a card out what that grade was prior to cracking it to sell it raw?
So a couple things. If I was,
I always found that as like being kind of wrong.
I'll be honest, I never have. I never have disclosed, hey, this was a PSA 8.
Nobody does.
Yeah, I've never done that.
It's like that. It's like that unwritten rule that it's okay, because I'd rather have it raw and someone.
But I felt bad about it. Let me say this. I felt bad about it to where I stopped doing it on eBay. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't like. I used to have
eBay's
raw cards that I would crack, and
eBay's becoming a dumping ground. Yeah.
So I used to go to eBay, but I get so many questions when I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Okay. So to be honest, I then started sending the Star Stock, because Star Stock gave me the A, B, or C. I'm like, well, let them tell you what it is.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yep. And then I have a bunch of cards still stuck in that goddamn purgatory, by the way. And then I start sending ComC. And here's another thing. When I send them to ComC, what I will do, I'll tell you another thing I'll do. I will use them as chaser cards in my portfolios. So, for example, in full disclosure, everybody, I sent back a PSA 8. It's the Luca Gold to 500 from Monopoly. It's a beautiful card. It came in a PSA 8. I cracked it. I'm going to put it in ComC, and I'm going to do a Monopoly portfolio of all my Monopoly cards in there. And in the portfolio, you can sell the portfolio for value, and it'll be one of the screenshots. I'm not going to write in there it's a PSA 8. Whatever ComC,
well, it doesn't matter if you submit it again. It might be a PSA 9. So
exactly, and exactly. So yeah, I don't. But I will say this: I don't deliberately sell graded cards
No,
raw.
no, no,
I
no, no.
don't do that.
I was like I said, I wasn't trying to go into a thing. I just find it funny. That's the one
No,
thing
no,
everybody
it's fine.
over
But
is
it
everybody
is.
has a problem with different things that people do. Yet it's still something that we would consider misleading, as we already know something about it. That the third party grader has already given us that information realistically, but yet we're not disclosing that like everybody wants everything else disclosed. I just find it funny that
Yeah.
we like to just dodge one thing in particular and we're all okay with it.
I just love to remind myself it's sports cards. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
is. It's a
dude, not to
game.
go
It's
on
a stupid
drama
card
topic
that's a
here,
picture. Like it's
but the
only
guy.
valuable
I mean,
because
I
we
don't
put
know
we
why
place value
vintage.
on it.
I don't know why vintage Shaq dude was attacking Neo. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Well, listen. Everybody gets an opinion, and Ziggy, and you
I
drive the
mean,
opinion
come on,
sometimes, and you come at it a little hard, and that's what people do.
dude. But again, I think my opinions have some fact. Neo did not
Yes,
trim
but
that
they
card.
also have a lot of energy and passion behind yours as well.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. That was just funny. I thought that was
It was.
hilarious. I thought it
It
was a
was.
joke. I really thought it was a parody. I thought
Oh
it was a
no, I
parody, and then he
didn't.
came
I
again
didn't.
at
There was
it.
right when it started
And then
rolling, I was like,
who
oh
was
shit,
it that
this
made
is
the
real.
comment? Somebody made a comment that Neo is okay if you don't disclose that it's been, dipped in juice. Like, no one said that. I mean, who's going to say that? I don't know. That was just it's gone crazy.
See, you're saying my mic
Again, I
is
always
bad.
remind
I'm gonna
myself
switch my mic
that
over.
this is a hobby for many. Ham's mic is bad. It must be green eggs inside. Green eggs and ham.
Is my mic better now? Can you get a
I
response
think it
from
sounds
anybody?
better. I'm having a terrible time at the damn. Oh, you know what? I want to follow up with the FBI.
Oh, the FBI one. You gonna call them too?
Yeah. And what, if I have the time, I just think you're going to spend a lot of time on hold getting to the right guy. And I honestly cannot believe that some agent on the phone is going to understand what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't know who the
You know
hell
what I
they
mean?
call it. I don't even know if what anything he says. Half the time he sounds drunk, so I don't even know. Like, why is he getting a pedestal all of a sudden? I
Well, his
don't.
comment was that it's fraudulent. It's an act of fraud. And if you're committing
Sure.
fraud against PSA, which I do agree, if you for example were to send them something altered, something fake knowingly to get them to sell it for you or to certify it, that is
Mm-hmm.
an act of fraud. You're trying to defraud them.
No,
But I
but he
think if
was
you
talking
shine up your
about
card to make it shiny,
correct. But he's saying you're defrauding them because you're doing something that's against their rules and trying to get it past them. So he's basically naming anything on the planet, no matter what somebody does. People do that. The whole point is if a grading card company can't catch it, that's on them. That's how that works. I mean, it's just
I
it is what it is.
I also just don't. I just don't see. And again, I would just be curious about this. Like, what would the charge be, and how would that go to court? Like, what jury do you explain to
Yeah,
somebody this guy's
you
shining
send a
his card too
$50
much?
card in. You tried to get it to Jim, so it's worth 300. It's not even a felony.
Well, I tell you this, I would
There's a
love
lot
to
of
argue
wasted
the
time
defense
going
for
on
that
here.
case. I think it'd be fun as hell. And the other thing, let me just quickly mention this too. It's May 1st right now. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what happened a year ago this month?
No, I
All the
can't tell you
hobby
what happened
drama,
2 days
all
ago.
the hobby stuff. I know, right? There's so much shit going on, dude. 1 year ago, Panini got broken into and burglarized.
Yeah, and all their fake servers got stolen with all the information on where all the cards are and all the boxes.
But there's been nothing since then. There's been no news update. Don't you think something would happen? I mean, there'd be an arrest, or I don't. I'm just shocked. Nothing.
Listen. The government states we have aliens, yet nobody's questioning that either. So nobody cares. They'll do what they want.
But this is.
So I'm not
But they
worried about
should
it.
care. I mean, there was a break-in. I'm. I'm not worried about it, but I expected
I
a
didn't hear
follow-up.
about an insurance payout. I haven't heard any. I don't even know anybody that works at Panini. Really works at Panini, like at all. Like I think they're
Tracy
ghosts
Hackler's a Panini.
at
Tracy
or
Hackler's a
like on the
Panini, but you're
outside of the
right. They've been
circle.
laying
Like
low.
yeah, they're all laying low. You don't know anybody on the deep
Well,
inside of the circle.
I
They don't talk. They're not allowed out of the room. They're like chained to
I
the
do have
wall
a
like
deep.
sloth, and they hand
I
you candy
have.
bars.
I do have one
Find
deep
me the
side
guy
friend,
who's putting the
and you
product
probably.
together.
I got one for you, and you
All
know
right,
him too.
I want them to
Do
talk.
you know who's the guy who was at he was at BGS running Beckett Live Media for a while?
Hmm.
Eric Norton. Is that right? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
He is a product manager there for Panini. In fact, here's I'll tell you the truth. I talked to him at the National last year. He is the one that told me that Panini had a time bomb on how long they had to use their college or their autographs of C.J. Stroud and all those guys. That they could not use them in future products. They had to get rid of them all. And I said, I don't understand why. He goes, well, I can't talk to you about it. And this is all public. He told me about it at the conference. It wasn't like we were, in secret. But he told me there was a cutoff that Panini had to not use those autographs. I'm like, you're kidding me. Because I'm sorry.
It would have to be a signed contract. Because what's the difference between
and that's what blew my mind? Because I said to him,
it in a pack or a card. You don't have that.
Well, again, for some reason they were not allowed to use. They might even have some of those autographs. They're not allowed to sell C.J. Stroud autographs after a certain time last year, while everybody else could. So it's really interesting. Anyway, I do know somebody. You know somebody. He's a cool person. I've asked about. He said he can't talk to anybody because of all the litigation going on, and he doesn't want his job. He was just public.
Oh, I mean, I would talk to somebody
completely
off the books. I mean, I talked to a guy that worked for Upper Deck for 8 months recently, because he was actually through another company, but worked directly with digital for Upper Deck, and he was explaining some stuff because I was asking him about, just trying to pick his brain, like what does he know, type deal, and I was asking him about the EPAC stuff because he ran the digital side of it through a third party. He's like, I didn't have an NDA, so I can talk about whatever I want. And he was basically, I was asking, about the Connor Bedard gold card, basically. He goes, well, that could end up in EPAC. I go, how? They said it wouldn't be able to. He goes, they wouldn't be able to know unless they kept the card. He's like, if it gets put in a pack, what it is EPAC is all the product that either doesn't get allocated or they have to buy back, open up, then SGC or whoever is running it, or what's that place, ComC? Who's the person that's running all their stuff from Upper Deck?
ComC.
They open it all, and then they
ComC runs it. But...
No, because they keep all the cards. So all the cards have to physically be pulled out of packs again, organized, and then uploaded to EPAC. That's why EPAC takes so long.
No way.
Yep. He's like, all that is stuff that
hold on.
That's why, like, the one-of-one stuff that pops out of there.
No. Time out.
Go ahead. Come on, bring it. I was questioning him.
You're telling me, I just want to clarify this for myself and the audience.
Yep.
Product is made, right? Some product shipped out, maybe some sits in the store, right? Yep. But when they go to make EPAC, they have to buy back or take from the store.
Yep.
They open those packs.
Yep.
And upload those cards, which are then created in packs. Come on, man.
Correct.
That's crazy.
The product is not actually predetermined what's going to be an EPAC.
I'm just thinking, why wouldn't there be this goes back to kind of the whole could boxes be loaded? I would have thought that there'd be a hologram on the box, and you just basically, as you open your pack, they're probably to the box and the pack and the box.
And it may be that way too, or they can just run the serial number and know what's in it. But somebody's still got to open it all.
They can't have to open the packs though.
They have to, because you can request the card. Remember, every EPAC card
but they don't open the pack until the pack is requested, though. They don't open the pack until it's requested.
That's going to be too big of a mess because they have to keep everything in an individual box. You're talking thousands of boxes. No effing way that's happening.
I don't know, man.
They have to catalog that. It's the only way it's going to be doing. It's the only way. It's got to move from account to account.
It's crazy.
Because even if you move it from one to another, they have to move it.
If EPAC comes out and the Conrad 101 hasn't been pulled, does that become a slot machine then?
It could. It could be sitting in a box somebody has. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Why not?
You're right. When you go buy a pack every now and then, I'll take a shot.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you're a lot. Hell, you probably pull it
out. Yeah, I know. I'm a Bedard magnet. I still have 5 boxes, I think.
We should have put you in a couple breaks.
I'm still looking. I almost gotten one the other day, but that spot was already gone. It was only like a 3-box opening, but I was like, I'll take a shot.
What is EPAC? He's asking about what is EPAC.
It's basically it's an online version of opening packs. Yeah, I don't know. A Z-Pack, that's a medication that you take when you get sick. You can just take vitamin C and zinc and you'll be fine. Tupac's
and again, it's not. These are not.
Daddy. I got all the answers.
They're not NFTs either. These are real cards. You don't get the base cards, though, correct? From EPAC.
Yeah. It'll be like a 10-card pack. Yeah, 5-card pack, whatever it is.
You do get the base cards?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't think you got everything in the packages. That's why it makes sense that they're reopening product to put back into EPAC.
I've always looked at that as, in the past, I had this dream that I would buy a couple packs or a couple boxes and just hold them long term, but I never do that. because they're not really physically there. They're in
I
the
have
cloud.
a few older boxes of stuff that I want to open, but I'd be better off if I did. Like I have like the
Is it in
90,
E-Pack?
93 SP for Derek Jeter's foil rookie. I have a box of that sealed. I'm like, I'm not opening that though because it's just worth too much.
Did you do the draft night autos? What were your thoughts on those?
I wasn't even paying enough attention to try to jump on them because most of that stuff sold out pretty fast. Like you had
What
to
did you
be
think
pulling
about the prices
trigger.
and stuff?
It doesn't matter.
You
what
did.
they
I
charge.
tried to. So, for example,
Just doesn't matter.
I didn't go for the Caleb
whatever.
because it's way too high.
I did. What was way too high? What was it $700?
700.
That's
700
nothing.
for Caleb.
How much did the Stroud start selling for at one point? $5,000. 700.
No, last year at the last year's drop, it was $299, and
Yeah, but
you
it was a
didn't know
random
which
card.
quarterback you were going to get.
Correct. It was
Yes,
random.
it was a random quarterback, one of the three.
Correct. But there was a
numbered
way
or
to
not,
get was
right?
a way to get a Stroud though back then because I remember Dakota specifically
Panini had them.
bought.
Panini
yeah.
had them.
Well, those were the ones they bought. Those were even the Neo had one, sold it, and then remember it was like
Yeah,
a week
so-
later it had like tripled in value. So to me, for the Caleb Williams, that card is probably going to triple in value from the moment it hits somebody's hand, immediately. And then God forbid you get one in grade to 10, immediately.
Did you see they had two versions of Caleb? They had one which
Yep.
was a patch version, and one
Yep,
that was just
random.
a card version, auto.
And you get one or
And
the
then
other.
of the patch
so you don't know
version-
which one you're getting.
Yeah, one. Yeah, and of the patch version, dude, they had eight that were actually 101s because they're letters of his name spelling Williams.
No, those
I
are
mean,
easy
that
sells.
is
Though.
damn
That's-
sexy.
It is, and they could have asked $1,000 each, and they would have got it. Doesn't matter what they would have
Because
asked.
I'll just be honest, if I was a rich, big balling whale, I'd put a bounty and spell his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I just thought that was sexy.
It doesn't
In fact,
matter.
I even thought
Every
to
one of
myself,
those
is
cards
that
is
worth
gonna be
trying
for
to
sale.
buy that out?
No.
So anyway, that one dropped, and I was in shell shock. I'm like, there's no way I can pull the trigger on this. I couldn't. Here's why: I couldn't stomach the chance that I'm going to get just an auto and not a patch and spend that much money. I think I would just cry. Then the next one was Jalen Daniels, and at 350, I'm like, dude, I'm in on this one. And I went to get in, and it was in my cart, and I'm trying to check out, and that thing sold out like that. Okay, it was gone.
I
So
went
then I go over
as
to
soon
your
as I
boy.
saw somebody post something,
his-
I went to look and it was gone. So I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not chasing
then
the other guys.
So I did go to Drake May. Drake
Mm-hmm.
May was still there. He stayed there for a few minutes. I did get a Drake May card. I don't know which number I'm going to get, but I am in the Drake May break lottery. And I'll be honest, dude, I love
if I
those
wasn't
cards.
gonna get an autograph guaranteed, I wasn't gonna try to play the game with the numbered ones. That's where I was with.
Yep.
Because there were a few
I
of
agree.
those floating around, and I'm like, and I thought about buying the whole set because
I
those
thought
are
about
gonna
that
probably
too.
be easy flips too. You grade all of
Yep.
them, you hopefully get some 10s. It pays for itself, plus you get the other cards. Those will probably be selling for well over whatever non-graded anyway, because people just want the set. And then something new will come out and nobody will care anymore and we'll move along with our lives. So it's all instant flips. All these things are get it, hit it, go. Get it, hit it, go. And if you can get it, you will hit it and then you can go. So that's pretty much how it's working out right now.
But you got to exercise. You got to move that.
You got to move.
So, okay, I did Drake May, and then I watched, I think it was today or yesterday, was the Caitlin Clark. Panini did their drop. Did you see that one?
There's so much Caitlin Clark out right now. Again, you're getting confused of what's going to be valuable and what's not moving forward. Not everything can hold the same value tier. And if something new comes out,
I think this one blew my mind. Her 101 was $10,000 and sold fast. Boom.
Again, I told you they can ask whatever they want. What's $10,000? Guys, these people are spending stupid money.
What was the record she set?
$10,000
What was her
nothing.
Bowman first went for?
It only takes two people to want something to make it worth a lot of money.
I was shocked by that one. I really did. I didn't. I guess you're right.
Ziggy, if you had your own card, how much would you pay for your cards?
Not that much, dude. You'd be an idiot to pay $1. What is a Caitlin Clark? You know, it's funny you say that. What is a Caitlin Clark? I did get that draft pack. I accidentally got the draft pack. I thought I was getting the what's that pack? The Road to the MLB, and I got the draft pack. I got a Caitlin Clark base. It's my first Caitlin Clark card, and I got this dude's autograph. So I'm excited about those two.
On the top, I
I
ended up pulling some Caitlin Clark base Bowman U first cards. The best one was a purple, because the blasters were half off. So I was paying $15 a blaster to rip, and I was like, let's do it. Let's spend $200. I'm gonna rip 20 boxes. It's gonna be great. So that's what I did.
So what was was there anything free there? As an adult male, were there any free things for you?
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't anything free for the kids.
I'm just curious because I will say,
I don't like
that's
these
announced
midnight
as well.
rip
I think
parties.
that's coming up in September.
I don't like these midnight rip parties that Topps is doing right now because we have another one coming up for Bowman. Why midnight in the middle of the freaking week? Like, come on, man! Like, put it on a Wednesday and do 5 p.m. or something. Eastern Standard Time or something, but not. I mean, kids are involved in this, and there were kids at the store at midnight, and they had to go to school the next day, I guess. But it's like, come on, man! You're like, now you're starting to tier this into very specific things that are going on. They did do giveaways that night. It just didn't end up with one. They gave away probably $2,000 worth of product at my local place, and that was backed by Fanatics and Topps. So they were told they could give these things specifically away. WNBA, that's how you spell Wemby.
I am going to go to this year's Rip Night, and I'll even say this to you. You might as well call me a Fanatics fan because I'm going to go. Like I said, I'm going to try to go to the New York one. I'm going to try to go to Pittsburgh. I'm going to try to go to Orlando. I'm going to try to do my Rip Night locally. I'm getting my budget ready. It's going to be Chrome and Topps. I mean, seriously, it's sad. I feel like I'm cheating on Prism right now because I could be buying more Prism,
but Prism is possibly a dying product.
I am totally the dude who's walking with his hot chick looking at Topps Chrome right now going, hell yeah.
I like Boozle's
You can meme that up right now.
WNBA cards for my
here's Monopoly Prism. Hey, what's up there, Topps Chrome?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, man. And let me ask you this. Is that going to drive down the values of Wemby and LeBron autos? Right now, the floor in a Wemby is roughly $2,000.
There's not enough of them out right now to drive anything
So when
down.
that product's released, well, let me ask you this. When his rookie year is over, 1 year from now, is Wemby's autograph rookie year a $2,000 card?
Yeah.
Rah.
Unless he's hurt, why wouldn't he be? Unless he gets hurt, he's going to be one of the top 5 players in the league.
And
he's already coming in and doing this. What happens when he hits that 3 to 5 year window we keep talking about these young guys, when they kind of now know what's really going on in the league and they know the whole league? What's going to stop him? They're going to make rules around him to where you can't, there's no hack-a-shack no more. None of that crap. The dude can jump from the free throw line and dunk without blinking. What are you going to do to stop him? He shoots threes, probably shoots from half court like a free throw. Who is going to be a bigger face than him right now? He's clean cut. He looks pretty good. He says the right things. There's no bad stuff coming out about him. So unless he gets hurt or he kills somebody or uses a gun like Jaw did or something, sky's the limit. Like he's forever.
So if you had Wemby rookie cards, you would hold them? Or?
I would try to get into a solid Wemby and hold a solid Wemby. What's a solid Wemby? I don't know. I would want an auto, and I would want it to be licensed.
Oh, you would? Okay, you can't. There's no licensed autos. Yeah, exactly.
Correct. That's where where we're in a very weird spot. What's going to be more valuable?
Let me give you some options. Panini's Prism. We're going to talk PSA 10s of the pink ice, cracked ice, which is a retail product. A silver Prism PSA 10, or a Wemby autograph from Topps Chrome. I guess the Topps Chrome autographs can be crushed. Those two, right?
Correct.
And that's the thing.
That's the thing.
This is what I'm saying. Like, does that
we're
mean
in a
Prism
weird
sucks
spot right now?
Does that mean all Prism sucks?
It might, unless what's the next guy, Edwards or whatever? Who's the second? The guy that has an autograph in Panini? Yeah, was he on the Hornets or something?
Oh yeah, Brandon Miller.
Okay, that'll probably end up being the more valuable autograph card out of the product. It's the same thing with the Strouds, all these stuff, because we have now no licensed autograph cards for certain guys. We're gonna have a really big struggle going back in time for this 3-year window that we're in. And I don't know what's going to be the most valuable yet. I'm trying to figure it out. I know that a silver rookie card is always going to have a very specific place in the hobby. A gold is always going to have a very specific place in the hobby. Obviously, ones-to-ones. Those don't go anywhere. They have a tier they just sit in. specific case hits of rookies like Wemby Color Blast or something. It's very specific card that will always have its value amongst all the other cards around it.
I want some advice. Well, I don't want to go too long. Actually, I could talk forever on this because I want some advice. I have a lot of Wemby, right? And I wanted to trade those up into a Wemby auto. That's what I was going to do. So go chase one of the Topps drops. Now I'm thinking to myself, I shift that money into Topps Chrome spur breaks and just chase the breaks going for Wembies.
The chase part of you says that. The smart version of you should just go buy the card that you want because
But if it's $2,000, man, you know what I'm saying? If
So
it's $2,000 for a single one.
Well, did you ever figure out what's going on with your Monopoly Wemby?
No, it's at Panini. It's in Panini. That could be there forever. In fact, I was thinking about this yesterday.
How long does it take them to look at it? Jesus.
I don't know. I suspect it could take up forever. In fact, I'm going to wait a little bit. Like if we get to June, I might call them up and
start pestering them. What's a little bit? No. On a card like that, you need to follow up in a week. That's like if your card is in the shop. Hell yeah.
And a phone call or an email. They never answer you.
I don't care. I do both. Hell no.
Okay, I haven't done anything. I agree.
That's worth your auto.
Oh, I would take that.
See what I'm getting at? So no, that is your meal ticket. You can take all the rest of them. Me. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's their card.
Panini can't do that for me though. Panini can't get me a Wemby autograph. Wouldn't it be funny if Panini sent me a Topps or buyback?
That would be hilarious.
I was thinking myself.
Look, I was like, here you go.
Here's what I was thinking myself. I would take like, how much do those black boxes sell for? Like $500. So give me like $5,000 in black boxes, and I can sell those at the National, and then go over and buy my Wemby.
I'm trying to run a trick on them at the National to get myself into a black or a white box. I'm deliberately getting very specific cheap redemption cards that I know they are not going to be able to get autographed and or filled.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to go and be like, hey, I have like 20 redemptions. Can I just get a black box or a white box? And then I'll get a bunch of trash guys and move it into a premium product.
It should
work. There's going to be, correct.
I did that last year, but mine, I'll be honest, I traded in like 15, at least 12 of them were like $5 to $15 autographs. Mm-hmm. And I got a couple of black boxes for it. But mine had been outstanding for a long time. I think that helped me. I mean, they're talking, I'd been with them for years waiting. So I don't know, but I agree with you.
The reason they like combining multiple groups of autographs, redemptions, is because they don't have to worry about filling them. So if they give you that box, they X those out. So even if they do fill them, they don't have to worry about you anymore. So it actually lowers their threshold of carrying. So there's a trick to that. I'm going to see how it works this year.
I agree.
Even though I did get one redemption back recently, I was like, God damn it. I was like, don't send them to me. I don't want them.
It's so funny to say. I agree. In fact, that's why I will go to the National every year for at least one day. I normally go on the day that I have my Panini day to go talk to them. And I also like to go when I get the Topps Chrome packs. Now, this year, I'm going to be more meticulous about that as well. Dude, imagine if they do Topps Chrome basketball buyback.
Well, it's gonna come down to what they do for their grouping. If they do, it's going to be nuts. But that means they're going to be printing a bazillion. I mean, the amount of printing on this will be ridiculous. Like you might get a Wemby one in every 12 cases. Like it'll be crazy. It might be like a Wemby per pallet. Okay. if they're going to do that.
I can't wait. And I'll say this, if anybody knows or sees the checklist, as soon as it comes out, please let me know. Like I'm curious just to know who are the autos on the checklist. You know how Panini has like their Prism has like 500 people on it, and like 400 of them are retired. You got like World's Be Free, and all these other.
Well, this is where I'm curious of what other people are going to be in this product. That's going to be different, weird, or odd. Because if you're doing unlicensed, the rules apply differently. So I don't know.
And I think that's why it could be loaded. That's why,
it could be. And this is the first run of these products are probably going to be the most valuable versions of them moving forward because they're really trying to make an impact. They have to sell.
I agree. And then don't you think there's something really cool to drop at Fanatics Fest and you get?
Yes. Or they're just giving everybody a card or something that's going to be a Fanatics Fest exclusive printed card that you have a random autographs or like a pack you open. That's what I would be doing. Make something that like you didn't come, you missed it. Or, hey, you want this? Now you got to go to eBay and you got to pay $1 bazillion for it. That's what you do.
Back to my mutual fund idea earlier. back to my mutual fund idea, wouldn't it be great to go in with some people in a mutual fund that could chase product drops, that could chase all, like, I'll give you an example. Back in 2017, okay, the
Ziggy,
first year
groups of people
Panini
that do
did
it,
Prism.
that are friends that just do that.
I
know
I'm-
people that do it.
I'm
They're just
flirting
full
right
of groups.
now. I know I'm flirting right now with the audience. Back in 2017, we did that. We chased Panini Prism first off the line. We put together money into a PayPal account, and then like 6 of us tried to get it. Only 3 of us got it, and then we took
Yep.
it was. I strongly recommend. That's what we need to do, guys. We need to unify these little groups that can chase these drops, keep the price. So we all get a little piece of Topps Chrome.
Mhm.
You know, not one person gets it all. Gets first access to, like, we need a pass or 2 we can pass around for Fanatics Fest, right? So if you can't be there on Friday, I can be there
That
on
would
Saturday
be
and
something
Sunday.
like if I got into it with a few people here, I'd be like, listen, let's all buy like 4 cases of this as a group. Let's all sit here and rip it, have a good time, and then see how much money we can make off of it.
I love this comment. I love Lennox. I agree with you. Look, I'm going to just quickly explain. I am a surfer. Not really. I'm too old to surf anymore, but I grew up surfing, and to me, that's what sports cards are. They're just waves, man. Wemby is a wave. I'm not holding Wemby long, and I saw the chat about him being injured. I sadly agree.
Here's a wave. Was LeBron a wave?
Yeah, when he came in, and then it was a different wave, right? But
he's been multiple waves, but he's always been a wave. From before he even walked into the league. Okay, he was always a wave.
He's a unique wave.
Well,
he's
so
been
is
unique,
Wemby.
though.
You don't think Wemby's unique? How many Wembys pop into this league? What? Give me
Wemby
another guy like
LeBron.
No.
I'll tell you why.
Another guy like
Wemby.
Wemby. Now hold on. Not LeBron.
Joel Embiid.
No.
Joel Embiid.
No. Nobody even likes him.
He reminds me of Wemby. I'm just saying. That's who he reminds me of. Tall, dominant player, can shoot the 3.
I think
Wemby's more athletic. Wemby's more athletic. But my point is that the big man injury longevity is a major red flag for me.
Not in
LeBron is built like LeBron.
Not in this version of the NBA.
LeBron was built. In fact, LeBron was built to play football, and he chose basketball because he knew he'd last longer in basketball.
Of course, yeah.
The man is built like a freaking tank.
He's huge.
He's low. He's lower to the ground. He's not like Wemby.
He's on all the good stuff.
We thought. Like, people thought Zion was like LeBron because he kind of moved around a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Kobe was a big deal when he came into the league. Kevin Garnett was a big deal when he came into the league. These are all guys,
but none of them have been.
What are you talking about? They've had an entire career. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that a guy that started out,
not LeBron,
and still finished out with what they started out looking like, becoming that athlete. I just see that in Wemby.
Anyway,
same thing with Luka.
My point is, to me,
like Luka has a lot more basketball.
I will say, to me, Wemby is a strong catapult to just fund so many other fun things in the hobby for me. Like, I will probably keep 1 or 2 Wemby cards long term.
But he won't be better than
Giannis.
I'm selling it all. 2 different guys. Giannis is what he is. What you see out of Giannis, there's no getting better. He's peak right now. That is all you're ever going to get is that. He's no better than what he is right now. He can't get better. Wemby can continually keep
win another
getting
ring?
Better. Who, Giannis? Not where he's at now.
Yes.
They all can win rings because they can make super teams. Basketball is notorious for.
Are we making predictions on basketball yet?
I don't even care who wins.
Who do you think is going to come out of the East?
I don't know.
Let's look at this. We got a few weeks. So who's going to be in the East Finals? Who do you think is going to be in the East Finals? You may help you out here. You got Pacers and Bucks right now in a series. You got Heat and Celtics. Celtics look to probably win that.
I selfishly want the Timberwolves to make it because of Anthony Edwards, and I like what he's doing. And I like for him I like to see that development out of a player, and I've seen that out of him, and I like that, and I want somebody to become a face of some part of the league and have that, because we keep talking about what's his name on the Celtics. The hell's his name?
Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum. And again, he's another guy. He's peak. He's done. Whatever you get, that's as good as he's going to get. He doesn't get better from here. Okay? He is maxed out. And this is what I keep saying. A lot of these guys are maxed out. Okay? They're not getting any better than what they are.
Shy.
Well, Tyrese Maxey's another guy. Alexander. You got to watch out whatever Darren Fox becomes later, too, because Darren Fox is very good.
Man, ERB's going to love hearing that.
it's just one of those things where we're in a massive change in all of our sports finally, where the old's going away
Isn't that
and all
cool?
the new's coming in.
I know.
And the new is different
I love
because
it.
the games are all being played differently now. So there's a
The
whole
only
new
thing that
set of
sucks about that
parameters.
is I just realized how old I am seeing that happen. You know what I'm saying? But I love it. I absolutely love it. I really do. I would like to see Thunder and Timberwolves in the Western final. I don't want to see the Nuggets. Great Nuggets. Good job. I don't want to see you again. It probably will be the Nuggets. And then on the East, I'd like to see Pacers.
Mhm.
I'd love to see the Pacers in the finals instead of the Celtics. I think Pacers Knicks would be fun.
Oh, that would
I
be
don't
fun.
want to see the Celtics, and I don't want to see Celtics win. I don't want to see Celtics in the finals. They probably will be.
It's possible, but I think they'll choke somewhere. I just feel that.
And what about hockey?
Tatum
What are your
has-
thoughts on hockey? You're a hockey fan.
Well, my Lightning are gone out of it. You know, they played Florida, and to me it was whoever won the Florida Tampa Bay was going to win the cup.
Yeah.
So right now I would say Florida.
Really?
They won it last
Nobody
year.
from the West can contend? No one
don't
from the
think so.
West?
Not the way the Florida's playing.
And it was Florida won last year? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they were cup champions. They got in as a last seed or whatever and ended up making a run. Yep.
Were they the ones that knocked off the are they the ones that knocked off the Boston Bruins, right, in the first series?
Yeah. Yeah. And Boston joke anyway, but I like the Avalanche, Brett, but I just don't see Florida right now. Just looks like they're going to more than likely do it again. Some of the
what about
saves
Carolina,
that guy was
man?
making, I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I don't care. The way Florida was playing, I don't see another team that can beat them. They were always in the right place for every loose puck. They were always, the defense was set up, the offense was moving all the way down. Like they were a well-oiled machine. And if they play like that, I don't think any other team can beat them. And we've beaten them in the last few playoff series we played them. This was the first year they beat us in a playoff series. We've beaten them, knocked them out every other year. So
I do love.
We didn't in the year that they won the cup. We didn't play them in that playoff series. So there was that opportunity that never even happened. So, but yeah, playoff hockey is fantastic. It gets turned up to like 11.
Yeah, playoff hockey is fun. I really like it. Well, man, we're going on a little late, and I got to get.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I got to get ready to roll too.
Stuff. I really appreciate an attendance record for myself. Over 20 live people viewing. I think that's an all-time record, man.
All right, cool.
And somebody made a comment that they didn't think this would. That I would say they didn't think it'd make it past episode 1. It's really because of Ham. I know you guys come for Ham because it's not for my happy face. Guys, that was awesome. I had a great night, man. Thank you very much.
No, I had fun.
Let's see. We'll talk again in a few weeks. There will be chit-chatting on DM and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of stuff
that happens
between this show and the next one. So be good, man.
Oh yeah. It's like I said, it's always happening. Something's going on. Talk to you later, man. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for being here.
Take care.